In last week's episode, my personal client, Greg Harwood, took an awesome bull moose early in the hunt. And the next day, I closed the distance and shot a big mountain caribou with my CVA muzzleloader. And this week, with weather closing in and the hunt winding down, client Brad Kilpatrick continues his quest to find a big Canadian moose, and I still have moose and grizzly tags in my pocket. The moose are rutting, snow is flying, and this is where the story goes from great to epic, and we finish this adventure like no other story we have ever told.
At One Horn Camp, client Brad Kilpatrick and his guide Levi get ready to head out moose hunting.
Going out and hoping to turn it on today, get into some rutting bull activity, and see if we can't drop some liver in the ground. Looking forward to today's adventures. It's good and clear. Froze last night. One bull down in camp already, and trying to make my mark here as well.
Picked up on top, and it's kind of, we know that it holds the bulls down. They bed down, they don't like to move in the wind, so we're just trying to play it out. Been spending a lot of time behind the Steiner binoculars, just picking apart the whole hillside here in the valley. So far we haven't seen anything. Haven't heard from Steve, so I'm hoping he's maybe seeing a little more than we are. We're just giving it our best shot.
As Brad patiently waits for the moose to start cooperating, Steve is up at Lost and Found Camp trying to find a moose or grizzly of his own.
Today, we're gonna go back up on the hill where we started yesterday and glass all this country. There's a lot of moose country down valley from us here, a couple of big lakes, but we gotta climb about 600-700 feet above camp here to the outlook. Hopefully we'll spot some moose, a grizzly, pack of wolves. Caribou tag's filled, so we're a third of the way there. Here we go.
We'll head north to a draw where we've taken moose out of before and see if we can get some moose calling in.
Calling in windy conditions is usually pretty futile, since the moose can't hear you from very far away, and like most animals, they don't move around much in the wind.
I think Steve just whistled from over the hill. Gonna go take a quick look. You whistle, buddy?
Yeah.
What you
Watching
got?
one. I got a moose. His head was sideways, so I was looking sideways into his head. There was no telling what he had.
How good a bull?
So over there's a couple caribou bulls in the spruce patch. There's a moose and he just never showed himself again. He followed a cow into a deeper spruce patch and never popped out. It's just too far to go on a whim. So we'll keep glassing. Hopefully he'll show himself. He'll be big enough to warrant making a stalk. So big country. Let your glass do the work. Chris is doing some calling. We're glassing. See if we can't pull a bull out in the open. Get a look at him.
Back at One Horn Lake, Brad and his guide are still at it.
We spotted a cow down on the lake, down in the lower basin down there. And she seems to be a solo cow, but her attention is diverted up into the timberline. She's running up into the timber. Me being the competitive kind of person that I am, feeling a little frustrated that we haven't seen a shooter bull for me to take yet, but I know we still have 4 great days of hunting left. I know my guide's doing the best he can to put us on some animals. Seeing the cow down in the lake a little bit earlier gave me some motivation to know that the moose are still here and that opportunity still sits in front of me. So we'll finish out this day strong, doing some more glassing, and head back to camp, get some dinner, get some rest, and tomorrow's a brand new day. We'll make it happen.
This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Super Hides by Marathon Seat Covers. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Caldwell Shooting Supplies. Innovation defined, accuracy anywhere.
Today's been pretty uneventful. No moose, not at all. Saw a few caribou in the distance. Saw some wolves, but no moose. Not responding to calling. Not coming out of the timber. Yeah, maybe there's no moose in this drainage. Maybe we got to ride over another one. So tomorrow we're gonna go for a big hunt. But I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening watching for wolves over on the caribou carcass from yesterday, or getting a moose to step out of the timber over here. Pretty slow.
Butterfly banding. Just any
Back at One Horn Camp, it's a new morning, and with a fresh day comes fresh ambition.
Morning of day 6. Had a good breakfast this morning. We've given the lake up in behind the cabin here almost a 2-day rest. So we're gonna go hit the lake, do some calling, and see if we can't call in a moose and get some business taken care of today. Feeling really good, motivated, got a great breakfast, all fired up. We're ready to go send some rounds downrange. Well, my frustration level is even higher. Spent a few hours down at the lake. Wind started picking up. Right now, wind is not my friend. But I'm gonna have to keep a positive attitude, and we'll make it happen. Still got about 3.5 days to go, and something's gonna happen between now and then. Something's gonna hit the ground. I have to keep positive.
Up at Lost and Found Camp, Steve and Chris are contemplating a ride out to Heartbreak, an extremely remote hunting area that no one's been to in 6 seasons, something that has them very excited.
Well, Steve, last night as we were coming down the hill, I was thinking of our options for this morning. Thought we'd wait to see what the weather was going to be doing. One of the options was going to South Airplane Basin, where you thought you'd seen a bull our first evening riding up to camp, and the other one was heading up to Heartbreak. And after deliberating it in my head all last night, I'm thinking the weather's good, we should hit Heartbreak. It hasn't been hit lately for a while, and it's a good moose calling spot. It's like we've got a nice cool day to do something there.
How long's it been since you were out there?
Nobody's been up there since '09. It's a bit of a ride.
Wow.
Will be a couple good climbs going over. Take about 3+ hours going there. But I think Levi, one of the guys on the other hunt, last time he was up there, they called in 6 different bulls, and he took 2 of them for his clients. So
Nice.
might be worth the discomfort of a ride, long ride today.
It's all right. Yeah. No, that sounds like a good plan. I love going places I haven't been hunting for a while.
Yep.
Well, we're getting an early start. Let's make the most of our day.
All right, saddle up, boys.
But that's okay. Another 100 yards.
To get to Heartbreak, you have to cross the open tundra, which is filled with soft spots and bogs that the horses can sink into. So you have to pick your path. Across the open and up through the rocks, finding the path for the horses was the biggest challenge. But once we got up on top of the mountain, it was smooth sailing.
Right, straight to the right, Talia. We won't be climbing, just side hilling to that patch there, and we'll be able to get over there. Yeah, we'll just mount guys.
Rode right through the boulder patch.
Yeah, now back down.
The short-term discomfort of a long ride was worth it. To get somewhere that hadn't been hunted in 6 seasons, to say my expectations were high would have been an understatement. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Burris Optics. Find what matters. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Tribe One Outdoors and their innovative products.
Chris is running up to the top of this hill. He hasn't been here since 2009. Yeah, it's 6 years. He's gonna get his GPS bearings, look for the trail, the best way down into this moose country. This doesn't look like moose country behind me because we're still on the edge of Caribou range, but there's a big timbered canyon on the other side. This big valley rolls down. He's wanting to make sure that we're going in just the right spot. So he's up there right now.
We want to be past that edge, so
Sure.
instead of dropping down this valley and going over, we can just pop over there and ride another valley that isn't as deep down. And once we get to that outside edge, that's where we want to be for the moose.
Oh, we're not that far away.
No, by my GPS, it still says we're 3 miles, but you know, it's a mile across right there, right? So, yeah, well, we're only.
You do.
Now you know what I go
we're
through.
only right.
Getting across the boggy Caribou range took longer than expected as Chris picked his way and located the old trail. And now we were rolling up on Heartbreak, and I was starting to get focused.
Burning a lot of calories up here. Put a little pep in my step. Little Mountain Ops Yeti. Flavors up the water nice, but really gives me a lot of go.
I think we'll cut to over there, and I bet they always rode that rock spine up and dropped over. So we'll cut for that direction.
We just made it over the top here to Heartbreak Camp. We're gonna set up, do some glassing and calling before we move down in there. This is a place they've killed a lot of moose over the years, so we're gonna put a lot of stock in today's hunt.
Heartbreak Ridge, here we are. The guys over the few years they were using this have called a lot of bulls in and so forth. We just sit up high and call in glass this time of year. And hopefully there's some on a string down there that come on in. What do you say? We need one in the boat?
Yeah, we need another one in the boat. First one's in, now we gotta get this last one.
I'll get to calling as soon as you're ready, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Back at One Horn Camp, Brad and Levi are contemplating switching camps to hunt a new area.
Brad, we're gonna go hunt Visor Lake. It's only a couple hour ride there. We've taken some real big bulls out of there, and with things been slow the last few days, I figure we need to change things up and try and make something happen. I'm not gonna give up. I want to get you your moose, so between me and Chris, we've decided that we're gonna hit Visor Lake and get your bull.
I like that idea. I like it a lot.
So we just got word earlier today that because we haven't been seeing a heck of a lot of sign over the past day and a half, that we're going to be changing camps tomorrow. But we are going to go and give it one last ditch effort on the lake. A little bit of rain, a little bit of wind right now. So you never know. We're going to go out and give it a try, do some calling. Maybe we can call a bull in. Never know. We'll do what we can to bag out.
Lakes are a natural location to find moose. The cows and calves hang out around them all summer and early fall while the bulls stay up high. But during the rut, the bulls come down to the lakes in search of the cows. Fortunately for Brad, he's at a lake, while I'm up in the high country. I had set up about 75 yards away from Chris, and he was calling down into the timber below us. And I was glassing and spotted a big bull moose coming right at us from about 800 yards away. And then I spotted a cow below us and a lot closer.
Cows are hang-up material. You see her down there? He showed himself. There's another one down here that we saw that's holding the cows down here. He's in that pocket. This is the satellite bull. That's the big one. I went up and whistled. Did you guys hear me whistling? I was trying to whistle and tell you guys there's two bulls. I think we're gonna have to move in. I think we gotta get the wind in our favor and move down. Because there's a cow, like if you look in your binoculars, I think I can still see her. Yeah, you can see her back right down there on the edge of the tree line, like 600 yards away.
And there was another bull with her. We were in the honey hole for sure, and now we just needed to close the deal. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by CVA Muzzleloaders. It's just a better gun. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Camo Restore. Make your camo outerwear last a little bit longer.
With Brad still hunting at One Horn Lake for another day, Steve is up in the high country, and they found some moose.
I want that bull to step up, at least let us give us a look. At least then we'd know if he was worth hunting for or not, if he was legal, too small, whatever it might be.
We could see the cow at the bottom of the meadow below us, but I had only seen a flash of what I thought was a big bull. And then he stepped up and into view. This was the best bull moose that I had ever seen in British Columbia.
This other one was way clear up here when I saw him.
Yeah.
But it was just 1 minute later we saw the other one. It was like this and this.
Yeah.
No, not that fast. I mean, I'm like 100% positive there's two.
The bull stalled out because that cow he's with, he's not willing to drop her for us. I like your idea that staying up high for right now, we get around him wind-wise and cut the distance. If we can cut the distance in half and call, then he'll feel that we're giving some, he may give some, and with a little bit of luck, we we get in within 100 yards of them there. And
Oh yeah, that's a hell of a bull.
we're gonna walk head down, kind of humped a little bit, in a line. It looks more animal, like a natural, than standing upright. I mean, you hump down, still taller than me, but we'll give her a whirl, buddy.
Now, the odds are this moose has never seen a man before.
Yes, absolutely right.
Need my decoy right now.
I'm an aggressive hunter. I always have been. And when they won't come to me, I go to them.
The wind could be worse. I mean, it's right up our back, so that's why I'm trying to stay high. Yeah. Right at it, buddy. I'm with you all the way on that. He wants to come. He's hung up there. Just if we cut just a little more off, we might call him in.
He's just thinking of this good looking.
Yeah.
He's about to find out.
You're the hottest. You're the hottest.
I wanted to get within 200 yards so that I could take the moose with my CVA muzzleloader. I really felt that if we closed the gap on the bull, that we could call him in closer than that. We kept the wind in our favor, got some cover behind the trees, and moved in quickly. I was looking for that perfect setup, a shooting window with some cover to hide. We found that spot and got ready.
Like, there's a hole right there. Here he comes. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. This is gonna happen. Hey, there's a trail right here. See how it looks beat down right there? There's a gap right there that we can see down the left side of those high spruce. If he comes over. Go. Oh, I thought you said go.
No. If we go in further, we're gonna lose that guy. He's gonna have to clear this stuff.
That's what I say. If we got there, we'd be same height almost. We could see down the left. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's coming.
We just want to range, guys.
Oh, I want to cut that down. He's coming. He's coming up to our left right here.
I wanted him close enough to take with the CVA muzzleloader, but I also had my Bergara custom rifle chambered in .338 Winchester Magnum with me. This is a massive bull, and if he won't get close enough for the muzzleloader, I won't let him get away.
I've got him, Dan. You got him good? If he turns his head away, I'm gonna drop him. Got him.
This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Bergara Rifles. Our barrels make the difference. This segment of the Adventure Series is brought to you by Cordova Coolers, a cooler innovation.
Steve and Chris have found a massive bull moose and have moved in on him. They're setting up, and Chris is trying to call him to within muzzleloader range.
Got him. Yeah. If he comes up, I'll swag him. That's a big old moose up here in northern BC. Woo. I don't even know how to describe it. You know, I've hunted moose before, but nothing can compare to coming out here and doing it again. It's so hard to describe to people what it's like to be out here. You know, this big landscape. It's insane. Oh my God, he's huge! He's huge! Nothing prepares you, even if you've done it before, you know, just you walk up to him, you're just like, oh my God, so big.
Probably the day it doesn't matter. Who's the day? You should just stay on the couch.
Yeah.
Right?
This is better than I ever hoped to get. And he's everything you ever want to get. Wow.
To this value, eh?
Holy moly.
Well, width good, eh? If you had that width on that other side, I'd be tempted to kiss Steve right now. We'll settle for this on camera. Right?
Yeah. I really wanted to take a moose up here with the muzzleloader, and he was well within my muzzleloader range. I just didn't like the angle. It wasn't a good muzzleloader shot. But I knew I had that confidence that I had my Bergara 338 Win Mag right next to me. When I put down the muzzleloader and picked it up, I knew he was mine. I was that confident. You know, hunting moose is fun. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. But once they hit the ground, that's when the real work starts. This is a lot of meat that I intend to take home. I got a great Feed the Hungry program. This can help fill the freezer for them and for myself. This is that. The best, it's the best wild game meat imaginable. Truly organic. I get to fill my freezer with something that wasn't pumped full of steroids or fed corn in a chute. I get to eat absolutely the best meat on planet Earth this winter. We got the moose all broke down into quarters and back straps, got the head taken care of. Everything's set out. He's gonna be good for the night. We gotta go back with the pack string and get him tomorrow. Everything's going really well here on our end. Right now, I'm really wondering what's happening with Brad over in the other camp.
You'd think that with a grizzly on the lake shore, a moose wouldn't dare show itself. But Brad's hunt is about to get very interesting.
This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Camo Restore. Make your camo outerwear last a little bit longer. Get the new Steve's Outdoor Adventures app for your smartphone or tablet. New features include an expanded selection of videos and the all-new bragging board, where through the app you can upload your photos and share your hunting stories. And winners are selected weekly and receive sponsor gear as prizes.
While Steve and Chris are packing moose meat in the high country, Brad and Levi have a grizzly bear in front of them and a bull moose is grunting in the timber.
We have a bull grunting right out here. We have a grizzly 25 yards away from us. This is getting really interesting.
Moose don't move real fast, but when you hear one grunting in response to your calling, it's usually just a matter of time before they show up. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Super Hides by Marathon Seat Covers. This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Caldwell Shooting Supplies. Innovation defined, accuracy anywhere. But it's on camera.
With time running out in the day, and as darkness sets in, they begin to follow the blood trail. With thoughts of the grizzly they'd seen in the same area just minutes before the moose appeared on the lake's edge.
We shot the moose. It's now 8:20. Probably gave him a good 20-25 minutes. We're now working our way back around the lake, and we're gonna look for blood where I shot him right on the edge of the lake, and then hopefully we're gonna follow that trail of red blood right to where there's a dead moose. That's what we're doing right now, and I know we were limited on light, but we're gonna do the best we can to keep this on film. Look at all this up there. Look right down there. The festivities continue. Shot a bull last night. We tracked him up until we got the, kicked him kind of, I don't know if he was bedded down or we just heard him bedded down. We didn't want to push him anymore last night, so we backed out of there, let him do his thing. Got up this morning after a rough night's sleep and had some breakfast, some coffee, and we're getting ready to go in there. So pretty excited right now. Looking forward to going there and seeing a monster bull laying on the ground. What made it up to the area where we last found the blood and spooked him up out of the bed, which is up the hill maybe another 25 yards. We marked it really well last night with orange ribbon. So we're on his blood trail from last night and hoping here in just a few minutes we'll be walking up on a mature bull that has been tipped over by this Bagara 300 Win Mag.
Moose are big, tough animals, and you have to shoot a good bullet and break them down or take out both lungs. Otherwise, they can go a long, long ways.
This doesn't look like he was here too long ago. Well, I'm up high trying to spot some paddles. We've got guys 360 degrees around us looking for more sign. Film, if you notice back there, shows a big chunk of lung in a bed. The bed's still, it's not frozen, so he laid there and he got up. We may have pushed him out. Not 100% certain, but we'll find him. We did it. Giant. Can you believe this? The 15th, I was married a month. And it's awesome that she gave me the opportunity to come up here. And you know, I grew up in Oregon where there's hunting and fishing, and my dad taught me to hunt years ago. And I want to thank my family for teaching me the love of the outdoors. It just doesn't get any better than this. We're gonna eat good tonight.
Yeah, moose tenderloins. Yeah, this bull's, he's got it all. He's got really strong front, good mass, long paddles, really wide, 13.5-inch wide paddles. Yeah, this is a true trophy bull, guys.
Well, thank you. Couldn't be happier.
Couldn't have worked out any better.
So, it's exciting. Now the work begins.
This segment of the Adventure Series is sponsored by Tribe One Outdoors and their innovative products. If you'd like to book your own guided big game hunting adventure, give my office a call. I will personally take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book the hunting or fishing trip of a lifetime.
Well, it's go home day. One of the go home days. Today we're gonna ride 8 hours back to base camp. Got a lot of gear to get packed up and get on the horses. We gotta go up a mountain, down a mountain, up a mountain, down a mountain, and then down a valley. And then once we get there, we gotta hope the weather clears up enough and the winds lay down so that we can fly back to the ranch. This is the start of a very long progression. As long as it took us to get here, it's gonna take us even longer to get home.
Chris had sent Kevin and Levi back to Lost and Found camp to bring down Steve's Caribou and the rest of their gear, and with their return just in a nick of time. An early winter storm was getting ready to grip the region, so Steve made sure his clients, their trophies, and gear all flew out first, and the rest of them hunkered down to withstand blizzards and cold weather that would ground planes across the region and strand them in the backcountry.
Been here 7 days since my hunt ended. Weather's been horrible. It's been the worst stretch of weather in 20, 30 years. All the planes in northern British Columbia are grounded. We're in reach texting with everybody trying to find an airplane to get in here. Nobody can fly. The winds are too high, the clouds are too low, the snow's flying. This is late September. This shouldn't be happening right now, but it is. We have to wait for the airplane. And when I hear the whine of that engine and see him touching down the airstrip, that'll be a really good sign. That'll be the feeling that we're about to get out of here and start our journey home. But until then, I'm just another guy standing on the edge, looking into the abyss, hoping for something that's totally out of my control.
This was one of the best adventures we've ever had. We discovered new territory and made new friends. My clients and I took 3 huge bull moose, 2 of which are large enough to qualify for the Boone and Crockett record book. And the icing on the cake was the caribou. I look back on this hunt and all of the things that we experienced. It's important to remember that these are 10-day hunts and not to get frustrated when you haven't filled your tag on the second day or when weather forces you to miss a day of hunting. They're 10-day hunts because of the challenges that you face in the backcountry. But for those lucky adventurous souls who can disconnect from society for 2 weeks and leave their iPhone at home, the most amazing wilderness awaits you. And while the moose are not behind every tree, those willing to hunt for them and put in their time will likely find success. And as I drive home across the scenic and beautiful landscape of northern British Columbia, I know deep down inside that I'll be back, because I need to feed my adventurous soul in the wild places like northern British Columbia.